One of the big reasons why I wanted to go on this trip was just to get an idea of their culture and their way of life, and to see if there's something I really might be interested in, because that's a really big life decision.
There's not many study abroad programs that were geared toward my major. I thought it was going to be a really eye-opening experience for me since I'd never been abroad.
I wanted to have a study abroad experience that I could speak to. It's an experience that you won't get from being a part of any other organization that's here in the States.
This helped me because it was both in psychology and abroad, so two birds with one stone, I thought.
I wanted to go back and experience it in a kind of lens, like a psychological lens, just because of the program's like overall theme of mental health and family, as well as religion.
Nursing, like the psych part and the religion part kind of intertwined together to really help me with personal relations.
Our goals and objectives for the Asian and Thailand experience was really to get them to, first of all, see another culture through their eyes and through that other culture's eyes, but also to really become in tune with the fact that the world is aging.
To allow students to immerse in a culture that was very different from their own, and to engage in scholarly literature related to families' health and well-being, and then be able to go to the country itself and experience some of those things for themselves.
For example, we went to departments of psychology and counseling centers and non-governmental organizations, nonprofit organizations, feminist organizations, as well as temples and mosques and historical sites.
And we went to the Taj Mahal, which was a really, really cool experience.
We had a class on just their biggest religion, which is Buddhism. We had a class on Thai dancing, and my favorite class was the cooking class.
We had people zip-lining, riding elephants. They were a fearless group.
Once we interacted with the people that were indigenous to India, particularly Bangalore, it definitely helped kind of get that humanistic perspective.
They have these little cars called tuk-tuks that are just like open-sided taxis that you can squeeze as many people in there as you can.
They were navigating the public transportation system. They were familiar with food and customs. The result, I think they each grew in ways that we really admired.
We visited a nursing home, and as my major is gerontology, I was obviously really interested to see how everything was structured, what the facility was going to be like.
One of my favorite experiences was going to the National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences. We talked to a psychiatrist there who kind of told us how they deal with clients, and it's something that I would have never learned from a textbook.
I wanted them to experience what that looked like, how that system worked, what people thought of mental health and mental illnesses, what did professionals think of those things, what kind of training was available to professionals, and how does that compare to the system we have here in the United States.
One of my favorite moments was when I actually met the president of this psychiatric ward in India. He's using these different methods for evaluating patients, and it's something I would have never thought about before to use and implement.
One place particular was called Parivartan. It was a counseling center. All of the women there were just like mothers or grandmothers to us, and they gave us specific cases that they had in the past and let us read through them as American students.
I feel like studying abroad has really helped me refine my cultural awareness and my cultural sensitivity to these various topics.
Things like policies and government and global health and other aspects besides just gerontology that apply all around the world.
There is a real benefit to studying abroad because you're able to learn kind of more of a visceral sense what it is to look at the world in a different way.
This trip really helped me with a lot of cultural competence. It's going to make a lot more of a difference in my career path with psychology.
I see things on a more global scale. My views are broadened. I'm more critical of what I'm reading. I'm like a better critical consumer of information, I think.
It helped me look at a different perspective, just a different view of life. It made me want to be a better person.